Well, hello there everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today, you join me at a gorgeous Terminal 4 here at Madrid Barajas Airport to take a flight with British Airways. It's a flight you could easily overlook, Madrid to London Heathrow. Just another European hop, right? Well, not quite. Today, we're stepping on board one of British Airways Boeing 777-200ERs, flying Club World from Madrid to London Heathrow, to find out what this iconic aircraft is really like on a short-haul flight. And trust me, you're going to want to see this one. As we are in Club World, we only get the Club Europe service. However, we do get fast-track security and lounge access, so I made sure to use those benefits. British Airways usually fly from Terminal 4 here at Madrid Barajas Airport, but because we're on a wide-body aircraft, we have to fly from Terminal 4S, which stands for Terminal 4 Satellite. In order to get to this terminal, you have to take a short 5-minute tram to the terminal. It's not a very exciting tram as you just go through a dark tunnel, but once you get to the other side, you're in Terminal 4S. Do you see what I see? The lounge. This is the Iberia Premium lounge called Velázquez. Ignore my awful Spanish pronunciation. You can gain access to this lounge if you're flying with a oneworld airline member with a ticket greater than business class or first class. You can also gain access to this lounge, I believe, if you have a status with British Airways which is silver or greater. We now have about 5 hours to explore this lounge, so let's go and see what food and amenities are on offer at this gorgeous lounge. With 2 fairly substantial food courts either side of the lounge, you will not be going hungry here. As well as the food course, they also have an a la carte restaurant where you can have some gourmet food upon your request. Having sat down on the plentiful seating and got some gorgeous food to eat, I decided to take in the gorgeous views of the apron and runways at Madrid Barajas Airport. When I tell you that these are the best airport views that I've ever found from an airport terminal, it is not an understatement. You could see so many logistical operations happening. You could see the catering trucks going past, you could see the baggage handling trucks going past, and also the Spanish World Cup team were coming home from their triumphant win against Argentina from the World Cup. However, they did put them on the other runway, which meant we were unable to see them. Our aircraft for today's flight, a British Airways 777-200ER registered as Golf Yankee Mike Kilo, has just touched down. This aircraft is nearly 26 years old and is the backbone of the British Airways fleet. We're going to be flying from gate 43, and because we are flying in Club World, we are in boarding group 1, so we'll be the first to board the aircraft. And there she is, our absolutely gorgeous 777 that's going to be taking us across to London Heathrow today. Stepping on board this beautiful aircraft, the new British Airways Club Suites are laid in a 1-2-1 configuration. We are going to be seated in seat 7 Alpha for today's flight. This is my first ever business class flight, and already by stepping on board the aircraft, I'm absolutely blown away at these suites. I know that there are much better ones available in the airline industry. However, as somebody who has never flown business class before, this is a once in a lifetime experience. We are now seated and I'll give you the full seat tour when we have departed. With the jet bridge being retracted, we've begun our pushback, engine start and taxi out to Madrid's southeasterly facing runway 14 right. It is now time for our departure, and the Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines are just moments away from coming into life. In just a few seconds, this British Airways bird will unleash that unmistakable roar, thunder down the runway, and climb into the Spanish sky. I'll include the full takeoff roll for your enjoyment. Taking off out of Madrid Barajas Airport, we begin our short 2-hour and 2-minute hop across to London Heathrow in the United Kingdom. Let's go! Join me at our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet, and I think now would be a perfect time to look and explore around our seat. Welcome to the British Airways Club Suite. You've got a large HD entertainment screen which packs in a massive 18.5 inches, which is very good for an airline TV screen. You have plenty of storage compartments, a USB port and a universal power outlet to keep your devices charged, plus a handy built-in vanity mirror. There are 2 reading lights, one overhead and one built into the seat, along with a spacious tray table and a fully adjustable seat that transforms into a convertible lie-flat bed. One thing that I did notice, however, is that there were no individual air vents, which I did find a bit strange. However, I'm not really complaining, as it's not a great big deal to me. However, some passengers might find it a bit of an inconvenience not having their own individual air vents. Let's now have a look at the main event of this seat, the lie-flat bed. Let's look at a short time lapse of the bed being put down. Absolutely fabulous. You also get noise cancelling headphones provided from British Airways themselves. However, I'm not really sure they were noise cancelling, but they did the job. After putting on the best film on planet Earth, the crew then came around with the first meal service of today's flight. I decided to go for the cheese-filled ravioli with asparagus, tomatoes, a bread roll and a devilishly good chocolate mousse. Let's just say that this was all polished off very nicely. With my meal finished off, it was time to sit back, relax and enjoy the rest of the flight. With about half an hour to go, the crew came around with a light snack. I went for the Diet Coke and the classic chocolate hobnobs, which were both devilishly good. Also, to the right hand side of your seat, there is a small armrest, and you can also use the door. However, the door was locked for this small European hop, which I do understand. We are now beginning our descent down into London Heathrow Airport, and I think it's time that I share my final thoughts on today's flight. Overall, I really enjoyed it, and I could happily be seeing myself having a full 10-hour flight in this seat, and I would really enjoy it. I managed to get this flight for a really good deal. I managed to get this one way from Madrid to Heathrow, one person, in Club World, although we got the Club Europe service, for £130, which is an absolute bargain when you could be paying like in excess of £5,000 for a one-way trip to New York, let's say. The prices do go up obviously if you decide to book this during the school holidays, but we went during the start of the holidays, so it wasn't that expensive.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Farnborough Airport, currently hosting the Farnborough International Airshow 2026. It is the first day of the airshow. Flying has stopped, but aircraft on the ground that you can see include the Airbus A340-1000, the General Electric 747-400, and many other awesome aircraft. Good highlight to see. And should be making our approach into London Heathrow Airport very soon.
And with that, we gracefully glide into London Heathrow's runway 09 left, which now concludes today's flight. Having previously done a 777 flight in premium economy and hearing the G90s, it now poses the question, which engine sounds better, the G90 or the Rolls-Royce Trent 800s? Let me know down in the comments which one you would pick. So then that about concludes it for our flight today. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts were and if you would take this flight yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and do make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.